All right, it's been a very, very interesting weekend for so many football lovers as well as some sport lovers. But some clubs are still struggling from where they left off after international break. United, Chelsea just can't buy a win. As much as they have bought players, they are still struggling to buy a win at this point in time. Both clubs with 5 and 6 points respectively. It's a very, very sorry start for United as well as Chelsea fan. And if you look at the social media, these two clubs are always very present, but their fan base has shaken right about now. You're welcome to the best of the best sports show anywhere on planet. My name is Farouk Adetola. The regular guys are here in the studio with me, and today promises to be another interesting moment with you guys. Just take there and use your seatbelt and find a cup of coffee, and definitely for the next 30 minutes or thereabouts, you've been having the best of the best analysis as far as the world of sport is concerned. Like I said, I am Farouk Adetola. I've got Izu back in the building, as well as IBK Sport for Shizu, and my guy Roy, who is never keen to listen to the word of wisdom. He's also here with me in the studio. Let me start with my guy here. Azu, how you doing now? Let's say Azu. That's deliberate. Izu, how you doing?
I'm fine, how's your weekend?
How's my weekend? What kind of question is that? I should ask you now.
They ask you how you did.
I did now. They ask them how your weekend did.
Our weekend, that's some of the same. So just answer your own. You know,
I don't lose.
I don't lose.
I don't lose.
I stop you now.
No, Allah.
IBK, the man who's enjoying a flashy moment from Barcelona. How you do, my brother?
Brother, I'm good though. Funny thing is that as they say they don't want waiting be named, Joao Felix. See what my boy they do now.
Ball.
As in, I feel that Chelsea and United fans, maybe I thought it was more of physical, but I think it's now spiritual. They need to start fasting. They need it.
All right, my guy Roy. It's been a very poor season for United and Chelsea. But you have a lot of promise coming this season. Arsenal the ball now. Arsenal the ball. How you did? How was your weekend?
Yeah, well, thank God. It's nice being here once again. And as regards the weekend, well, it was mixed feelings for me.
How?
As a Chelsea fan, so I had high hopes that this the match would be a kickstart for Chelsea, but
that kick back again. All right. Whenever Roy is saying a mixed feeling, say tickets don't green, but team no good. All right, guys, so welcome to the show once again. Let's get into action right about now. And where do we start from? Let's start from the biggest disappointment of the weekend. United. A lot of people predicted that United were going to get beaten, and United were beaten. Not just just like a cakewalk for Brighton, because Brighton coming to that match, IBK Sports, Brighton didn't have 6 players on their regular, and it wasn't even as if they hit gear 2 against United. That's how bad United have been.
Well, I was just saying that I think Ten Hag, as much as you can say, is one of the knowledgeable coaches we have in the world, tactically sound, someone who has learned a lot under top managers as well, someone who came from the ranks. When you look at Ajax Football Club, you understand their philosophy of football and what they represent in football. You want to know that this man has achieved a lot with Ajax, but it seems he's lost the dressing room. I was just talking to Roy before we came on here, and I said he's wanting to lose the dressing room, and he's wanting to also continue losing on the field. Now, once you lose the dressing room, some coaches might lose the dressing room and still get results. So this is it. That means some players are still, trying to give their all. But once you lose the dressing room and you start losing games upon games, it means there's only one message that no one wants you anymore. I might be wrong, but the fact is that as much as Ten Hag is so tactically sound, I feel that this thing is just beyond what you put on the field. This is beyond what they train for. This is beyond what we know these players for. Man United cannot struggle so bad that they've lost about 3 games out of 5 already this season. I don't think it's that bad. I feel that it's more of off-field situation happening with United. But let's not take anything from Brighton. A team that is very solid, back-to-back win at Old Trafford, bro. Even Man City they do them. It shows that they played against a quality side. I always say that Brighton has a system that is working. Bring in Farouk there, bring in Royal inside.
I know, let's go there.
Honestly, we said it, Farouk. We said it.
You're taking it away from that.
Graham Potter also went on this run.
Entirely.
Graham Potter went on this run as well.
If you're saying Man City, if you're saying Arsenal, this is a club that I feel that have got structure. But I still feel that let's give the roses to the coach doing the.
No, I'm not saying this. I'm not saying
this guy didn't have. If it was about.
I'm not saying Roberto De Zerbi is not good.
If it was about the players, This guy didn't have 6 of his players that started the season.
Farouk, that's why I said.
And it's
That's why he
Okay.
said system. He said he's basically saying it's
Who
plug
brought
and
the
play.
system?
There's a system now.
So let's
No, it's not the Zebby system.
Prior
Okay.
to the Zebby's arrival, sorry, what's it called?
Brighton.
They were still playing.
They were like
good
this.
football.
They were,
Harry
that's
Potter
the thing.
played good
Okay, let me just put a simple scenario.
Graham Potter.
Southampton have one of the best youth in the football
Farouk,
in
it's not
England.
about youth. Now,
And they also play true football.
It's about the system.
Farouk, I want
It's
to
about the
go and
system.
see.
No, the system
Okay,
was
Like I
already
said,
on the
like I
board.
said,
He
like I
only
said, like I said, I hope
For
that
me,
I
think
wish
only
that
improved
I wish
the
that a big
system.
club, I wish that a big
Farouk,
club
we
will
hold
pick
on,
up
we hold on. I
the
want to
coach
make a point.
of Brighton
I want to
and we'll
make a
come back
point.
to this conversation
I want to
again.
make a point. Now, I watched one documentary on Brighton, and I can tell you that as much as down to their recruitment, there is this tradition they have in the type of player they want and the kind of player they want, the number of years they think this guy is going to be at the top, what they will expect from the player in 2 to 5 years. These things are not rocket science. These are more like a structured plan. That's why I'm saying that bring in any coach.
I don't agree.
As much-
I still don't agree.
Okay.
I understand what you're
Okay, no
saying,
problem.
but I still don't agree. You have your right to your point, but
No problem, yeah.
I still don't agree.
It's fine.
Let me come to you, Izu. Let's look at United. They're already on the floor right about now. Nowhere to rise except up. And you have a potential match.
For me, they can follow us.
You have
But continue. I'm with you. They can follow
a
us.
potential match
Yeah,
against Bayern Munich. And I always say this any day, anytime, that if the result is falling here, you can look at any player, you can send any player back to anywhere. Pep, results are there. So you can have a right hold of any player. But this is a coach that is struggling to hold the dressing room. And the results are not even coming in. 3-1, 3-1 defeat back to back to Arsenal and Brighton. United are currently on -4 just after 5 games. Is there any way Ten Hag can make a quick fix against a potential fixture in Germany?
I don't know, Sha. I heard that Man U, they are holding their tactics so that Bayern don't know what they want to play. But I don't know. I don't know how true that is, Sha. But the thing is, I think I agree with IBK, and it's bad that the coach doesn't have the dressing room, and I don't really see what the captain that is Bruno. I don't really see what he does on the pitch to inspire confidence, to inspire zeal, to inspire that fighting. All he does is, for me, he whines a lot.
So it's fault of the captain now.
No, I'm not saying fault of the captain.
No, that's what you're
I'm
saying.
No.
You can't
I'm
put
saying
the whole blame on Bruno.
No, I'm saying the
Bruno was
coach.
even played out of position.
I'm saying the coach has
You're
lost.
looking.
I'm saying the coach has lost the dressing room.
Yeah.
When that happens, when Pep went to Bayern initially, it was not exactly this in a landslide for him. It took the players of like Philipp Lahm and the rest of them to actually bring the team to like submit to Pep and his philosophies. Because coming to come and play with all those Spanish football, bring it out to Germany. And Germans are very stubborn naturally. So it would take, if the coach doesn't have the dressing room, that's why you have a captain. It's his job to bring the team together and all of that. But you see that from Bruno. And aside that,
Hold on. Like I said before, if he was getting results, then it means some players are still on his side. But with what is happening now, even the captain, I feel that no one wants him anymore. That's
because the work off the ball is terrible. Look at the goal Pascal Gross scored. With all the space that they had, they basically just, apart from Martinez who tried to launch for the ball and Gross just eased him out of the way, they basically just looked at the goal going. The work off the ball is very poor. There's no fight, there's no hunger, there's no ginger at all. It's just vibes at this point.
Roy, let's talk about the coach now, and also the captain. I still feel that it's too early to say the players are down-told. It's very obvious, but results are not coming, and that's going to be the only pointer to so many analysts and also fans now. For the first time as a United fan, I feel that Ten Hag may not be the right fix for United. Ajax is different from England. You are playing against Feyenoord, Excelsior, you are playing against Roja, PSV, even Brighton, Newcastle. They will go to Holland and dominate. Do you feel that after a year plus, this coach doesn't still have the tactics, this pattern of play? Is it too early to start calling for Ten Hag out, or you think that the only way for him?
Well, it is, in my opinion, I think it is wrong to say Ten Hag is not the best fit for Man United. You are playing Champions League football this season because of him. Do you understand? He got you the the spot where you are. You got to the spot where you are today. And like IBK rightly stated, see this, there is ego in football. These players, they've got ego. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't know how to manage their ego, you will lose the dressing room. And the moment you lose the dressing room, the nonchalant attitude will come in. And I'll tell you, it started with Ronaldo. Then there comes what's it called? Greenwood. There was no support from the coach.
It's fault that Greenwood did what he did.
I said his own. You can make excuses for him, right? Anthony came, and then what's his name? Jadon Sancho. Yeah, so these players are like scared who's going to be next. So they won't give you their all and all of that. So for me, he's a fantastic coach. He showed it in Ajax. You can't take that away from him. All right. Last season he proved also, and it is glaring as you can see his tactics and all of that. But it's just down to the whole problem and whatever you have in the dressing room.
I don't think a coach saying he doesn't necessarily want certain players is the reason why you will lose the dressing room. If you remember the story of how Roy Keane left Manchester United, he had a falling out with Fergie.
Yeah.
And you saw how Fergie handled it. And I was watching an interview recently where Ferdinand said, as soon as Fergie told them, this man is our captain, he's never going to play football for Manchester United again. He said everybody shook in the dressing room. You get if the problem with Ten Hag is he doesn't have the results to back up his claim for discipline.
That's exactly what I'm going to.
Now,
That's exactly what I'm going to.
We are staying too long, but you know that compared to what the likes of Roy Keane, guy, those ones they have steel mentality. When I mean steel, balls of steel mentality. Those ones they were actually playing football
and they were getting results.
That's what I'm saying. I said he doesn't have the results.
Players of now
to back up this claim for discipline and all of that.
Players of now, you can't compare this.
I just feel that.
Once you get into them, they start misbehaving. They start feeling somehow. Bro, Beckham got worse treatment from
Feige. So for me, so let's just move on. Let's move on. We don't have much time. Let's not overflog the issue of United. We're still coming back to that when we are previewing the issue in the Champions League. Let's talk about City, West Ham. We always know that City will not have any issue with any club in England. They considered first half was like, they were struggling, and here comes second half, a new player coming in. That's why I tell you, it's about new player coming in, it's about the system, the environment that you meet, and you just, it's like plug and play for City. Once again, new player playing the position of Jack Grealish. It was as if he has been there for a long time. But West Ham on a run, but that run had to come to an end against the best club in the world.
I'm not necessarily going to agree with you when you say new player, because the profile of the player is very important as well. Doku is not your new age winger that is afraid to take on players.
Sorry, what was he playing before?
Rents.
Okay, let's go on.
People watch Doku.
He doesn't even play for PSG Lyon.
People watch Doku.
I can tell you something that 90% of people watching football right now doesn't even know who Doku is before he was signed by City. Do you agree?
No, I knew.
I said 90% of.
No, 90% is a big number.
I think people know him because
whether they know him or not,
was he Rose on the World Cup?
Whether they know him or not, it doesn't change the fact that the player profile is the player profile is something that we saw from Peak City. Remember when Pep signed?
Was his profile better than João Felix when he came to Chelsea? I'm asking you.
Doku's profile, for Pep's system.
You are going back to what I'm saying now. You are going back to the system.
That's what I'm saying. You cannot buy a player profile that will not fit your system. There's a reason why there's profile and there's a reason why there's system. For it to be plug and play, it has to fit the system. That's what I'm saying. I was saying it before we started the show that what were coaches looking at? Coaches wanted wingers this season. What was everybody looking at when Pep went and snatched Doku for like 55 million? He was literally there. People signed a lot of wingers. Pep knew the profile he wanted. He went and got the player. That's why it's plug and play. A lot of these coaches go and buy, he did well against this team, let him buy him. The question is, would he fit my philosophy, my pattern, my system of football? And Pep has it down to a T. That's why he's looking at what he's doing. It's not magic. He understands his job and he's doing it right. That's my point.
But do you know why I will agree with Farouk? Because I think Pep is someone who he doesn't really like a direct player. If you know Pep very well, Jeremy Doku is when I heard that there was interest from Man City for Doku, I was like, Doku is a direct player. He doesn't care about who is beside him. Maybe he wants to pass to someone. Maybe he wants to build up play. His own is take the ball, take on 1, 2, 3 defenders. either you square play or you find the net, just like he scored against West Ham. And I was very surprised. But to be honest, I feel that when there's a system, that you cannot deny that fact. When there's a system working, just get the average of, when I mean average, just above average players, and they start performing.
Well, let's leave the issue of City. Let's go to Wolves. Let me come to you, Roy. Liverpool also had a very bad start in the first half, but a club that understand what he wants to do, and also a coach that understand the job, always find a way to get the better of Wolves, who was balling. Could have scored 3 in the first half against Liverpool, and second half came, Salah didn't score, created 3 assists, and it was back to business for Liverpool.
Okay, so he's Jurgen Klopp, for crying out loud. All right, so he's a very tactical coach. He's a very fantastic coach. Yeah, he understood that they didn't start well, and somehow they were able to come back to the game, and they got the result. That is what makes you a top club, a top club. You understand, when you understand that you started poorly and all of that, and you are able to tweak things, and you're able to come back to the game, and you win matches irrespective of how you started. That is what top clubs do, and that is why I'm angry for a club like Chelsea. And
coming to Chelsea. But before we get to Chelsea, let's talk about those that are balling. Let's talk about AC Milan, Everton, Arsenal. You don't have to win 10-0, 20-0, 5-0 all the time.
Yeah.
Just get the job done. And Arsenal are getting to understand that, yes, for you to stay close to Man City, just win anyhow and hope for luck on the other side. And it wasn't a very wonderful performance from Arsenal, but at least 1-0, cleaners, 3 points.
Playing at the Goodison Park, it's a monumental park. It's somewhere where a lot of clubs don't want to go to.
Absolutely.
As much as Everton are in terrible form, you still don't want to go there because the fan base, you know what you will expect from Goodison Park. But like you said, when you are chasing a particular team, you know how perfect that thing is.
Yeah.
You want to try your best.
Absolutely.
Like I always say, the only thing Arsenal will try and do this season is to try and chase Man City and hope they falter.
Absolutely.
Because I don't see Man City easily losing games. And games like this, that's to show you that Arsenal are really ready this season.
Yeah.
Just like last season. They didn't have squad there, but this season they had. Last season, when Partey was out, there was really no one who could come in to hold on to that pivot role and everything. But now Declan Rice. Declan Rice was probably everywhere, intercepting passes, making defenses, good defenses, trying to set up the attackers and all. This is what you get when you have squad depth. When you look at different angles of the pitch, you have a player who can always look at Trossard. Trossard doesn't get to play, but who won the game for them was Trossard.
Of course.
You get, so that's what you enjoy when there's a team that understands that squad depth is very important. I'm not just squad depth, but quality squad depth. When this guy is not available, who are you bringing on? Is it someone better? Is it someone that can fit into it? It's as simple as that. But with the way I'm seeing us now this season, I just hope the Champions League is not a distraction. I hope so.
It will be. They should learn to.
But if their former coach came out to say that he doesn't actually see Arsenal winning
it's not about winning, it's about performing. It's about
winning Premier League. It's just like Liverpool did. Liverpool started chasing Man City like 3 years before they finally won it. Yes. At some point, Man City would falter. You should know Man City can always win the league.
Yeah.
So who will capitalize on when they falter? So you have to keep going.
Of course.
Remember when Liverpool won the league? They had 98 points. You get, so Arsenal should be aiming 100 at this point because that's the truth. They should be aiming 100 if you really want to be.
Well, let's talk about Chelsea playing away at Bournemouth. It was a goalless draw. Chelsea, the usual, trying to do so many things at the same time, but results are not just coming. It is still better that Chelsea are still playing well, obviously, but the result is just not forthcoming. And that's one thing I said at the start of this show, that too many parts coming together. It will take time for them to gel. Hopefully, the results start pouring. But what do you make of Chelsea's goalless affair against Bournemouth?
I can understand when you say there are a lot of new parts that are trying to come together, and you say we're playing well. But I think it gets to a point where we're 5 games into the season, and there's really not a system or a structure in place in our attack that makes you feel like, okay, this system will get us goals even on the hardest of days. It's everywhere. There's no, okay, this is how we're playing, this is the structure, this is what we would like to do. Before the international break, it was Chilwell on the left flank. Now the international break is over. He started a winger there, and then at the point where we're trying to get goals, it feels like we've survived that storm from Brighton at the tail end of the second half, and we're like, okay, let's capitalize on the fact that we decided to sit back and defend. He took off Mudryk, he took off Enzo, and I'm bringing on Ben Chilwell to do what exactly? So choices like that make me question a lot of things. I'm not saying Poch out. What I'm saying is he needs to decide that, okay, this is the system we have to use. Play that from the back, we did it well.
Absolutely.
But we're not creating enough chances. You can blame Jackson all you want and say he has missed a lot of chances. Attackers miss chances. Aubameyang won the golden boot and missed over 20 big chances. Attackers would miss chances. You cannot say nobody will have 100 chances in a season and take 100 of them. The problem is, will you keep creating for the so-called striker? So there's no system in place in our attack that gives me the confidence we can go on and even chase top 4 or chase Europa League football in the long run. Right now, the defense can be better. The midfield needs to do a lot of work. The attack, there has to be something in place that is concrete. That is, okay, look, this is how I want to attack this season. This is how I want to go at teams. Bomber did not play a low block. They actually came out to play football with us, and we still could not register goals. We still could not create enough chances. It's worrying. I'm not going to lie. It's very disturbing.
All right, if I allow you to go on and on, well, you know that he's a true passionate Chelsea supporter. Well, let's before we move over to other leagues, let's conclude with Chelsea. It's not looking as if anything's going to change anytime soon, and Chelsea don't have any distraction on the continent. Play your Premier League, play your Carling Cup, and when FA Cup starts, you join them. Results should be pouring in now. We can also make reference to Tottenham Hotspur too. They have a new coach who's even coming from Scotland. First time in England. And it seems as if Tottenham Hotspur are a different breed entirely. The way they are going, a lot of people are giving them chances to also, compete with Arsenal, with Newcastle, with Manchester, as well as Liverpool. Too early though, but we are seeing the signs. But there seems to be no sign. And do you think that Poch, with his rich vein of experience in England in the past, it is taking too much time for him to bring these two players together? They are creating chances, for God's sake.
I think it would be very unfair to, at this point, criticize Sport, because
I agree.
Apart from having new set of players, don't forget Chelsea lost about almost 11 or 12 players during, and these are not just players. These are players who were a pivotal part of the system for a long period of time.
Could that be the reason? Experienced players.
You mentioned Kante, you mentioned, Kovacic, you mentioned, I can't even remember, a lot of Aspilicueta, Missy Mount. These players, they were there, they won the Champions League, they won cups, for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it's more like you are bringing people from different parts of the world to achieve one result. Now, apart from that, that's already a disadvantage on its own. But another disadvantage is the fact that some of these players are injured. When even the captain, that's why I was saying that when they mentioned Reece James as the captain of the club, I was very worried, because a player that can't even guarantee you at least 30 Premier League games is your captain. How? Why? And I feel that's why Thiago Silva really doesn't want the band anymore. That's why you can see someone like Gallagher, captaining Chelsea. Normally, it should be Thiago Silva. I always said it. And I feel that Thiago Silva is not happy with the decision. You get, okay, the guy you guys chose as captain, where is he now? This is a player that his track record has told us that he is an injury-prone player. As much as I want to have respect to Reece James, but you should have your captain available for games like this.
Absolutely.
So there is Nkunku that the boss, there is Chukwuemeka, some of these players that could have been a very instrumental part of Chelsea. Even Amando Broa is also someone who has Premier League experience, huge one. So when you don't have these guys available, and you are trying to get a result with probably disjointed players, it's very difficult. So I'll start criticizing what's his name, Pochettino, maybe from December, or maybe when his best legs are now available. Because if you have your best legs available and you are still struggling to get results, then we have to start blaming the coach.
Like this.
All right, let's leave Chelsea. Let's go to other league. Good result for Barcelona. Good result for the likes of Real Madrid. But let's talk about the Milan derby. I was so sure that Inter Milan were head and shoulder above AC Milan, but I wasn't sure it was going to be 5-1 against AC Milan. They took them completely out of this world. Playing in the same stadium, but the gap in class, the gulf in class is so obvious. AC Milan, Inter Milan.
Personally, I was shocked. You know, when we were predicting last week,
You said
I predicted that AC Milan was going to be involved. When I saw the lineup, it was more or less like Chelsea Academy kind of. Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic, Livagic.
Well, they were 100% onto that match.
Yeah, they were. But when 10 minutes into the game, I was disappointed. Like, AC Milan didn't come to play. You understand? They didn't come to play. Inter Milan decided the tempo, everything was so on point for Inter Milan. I was working well. So I didn't see AC Milan. With the first 10 minutes, I told my friend I was watching the battery, like, AC Milan cannot win this game. And the score margin was even embarrassing for a team of AC Milan pedigree. Sincerely, it was very, very embarrassing. But it's football. It is what it is.
Well, let's quickly just stay on this issue. You know, it look as if Inter Milan are the team to beat right now in Italy. You know, Napoli also struggled, played at a 2-2 draw against Genoa. In fact, they came back from 2 goals down to equalize. But Inter Milan have set the tone in Italy. Too early to call.
The thing with this area basically is Napoli did it last season. It doesn't matter how, just get the results, get the win. People can be playing 1-1, 2-2, just win 1-0, 1-0 before you know it. And when you look back, you're topping the second team by like say 10 points, 12. So I believe if they continue like this, for me they have everything they need to win the league. They have a coach who took them to the Champions League final last season. So obviously he has a system that they understand, system that works for them. And I think the addition of Marcus Thuram and a couple of other players was very good for them. Now when you look at AC Milan on the other hand, against Inter, they had an entire flank that wasn't functioning. From Pulisic down to Loftus-Cheek down to Calabria. Look at Thuram's goal. A striker is basically backing into your own box. The space that Thuram had to take on that shot, for me, it was poor defending from Calabria, and they kept making silly mistakes like that. And you can't do that if you hope to chase for the league. I think their coach is a very good coach. I think they have a very good team, but it will take more than they are giving right now to chase for the title.
IBK, before we go to the Champions League, here is another question. Look at the Inter Milan players. Most of these players are rejected in some big clubs. Mkhitaryan, Calhanoglu, played for another club before. And these guys are in this club playing together. I still feel that, in as much as we're talking about clubs that could have history, they can be playing good football, but it boils down to the coach, putting this player to the right use, using them the way they are supposed to play. And this is an example of Inter Milan. At times, they might play very ugly, get the result. And once they want to play out from the back, you still see the same result. A case in point, the Champions League final, they have lost about 2 or 3 players. They are still top of the table.
Well, Inzaghi is not new to this kind of. He was at Lazio, and you saw what he did when he was at Lazio. So when Inter was, when they needed him, they knew what they were going. It's like you going to the market to say you want to go and get, you want to go and buy a Benzo, GLE. You know what you are expecting from it. You know the quality you get from things like that. So it wasn't a doubt that Inzaghi was going to perform. But I was even surprised that they lost Onana, they lost Lukaku, some other players during the season, and they still showed why they are superior. I said it here last week that in recent years, Inter has always had it against AC Milan. I don't really know why. In fact, look at the last 5 years and see the result. It's so poor on AC Milan's side. But don't take anything away from AC Milan. This is a derby, so I really don't think maybe we'll start worrying about their performance. They were on 100% before this game, so hopefully they pick from this. And like I said, Stefano Pioli is someone who I really don't trust. You can't be losing 5-1 in a derby. It shows that there's something wrong with you, bro. This is more like a bragging right. When you play Football Manager, you understand what it means to play a derby. In fact, when you sign for clubs, they tell you history of the club and they tell you importance of some games. Bro, sign for AC Milan. The first thing they tell you is that the Milan derby is a must win. The Milan derby is something you should know. Although AC Milan came out to debunk saying that this Milan derby is not really as important for what the manager is. But I feel that you losing 5-1, your players, what would they? Guy, you have fantastic players. But what tactics did you use to play against Inter Milan? I feel that maybe they thought they could go at Inter Milan. They were not conservative in that game. They didn't really tactically, get this well. But Pioli, if he doesn't get it right, maybe in the next 2-3 games, I think you start questioning is him being the coach of AC Milan.
All right, let's head straight to Europe right about now and talk about the big boys playing in the UEFA Champions League or perhaps the Europa League. I don't know why Roy is laughing. Sorry, he's
He's not a big boy.
He's not a big boy.
He's not a big boy.
And they play in the Champions League. What's the worry you? What's the worry?
Oh, not true.
All right, let's start from Germany. And I'd love to start from all, but let me start from the middle. United.
No, why you
away.
From the middle?
That's the biggest game. Let's deceive ourselves. No, United playing at Bayern Munich. Yes, Bayern Munich also draw points against Bayern Leverkusen at 2-2. Yeah, forget about resting players. They draw points. They are supposed to be winning that game, but they are playing against a team that's also top of the German Bundesliga, playing quite well. But here is the deal: United are not ready for this kind of trouble again. There is trouble at home, on the field of play in England. Now going to play one of the sides that can embarrass you if you open up for them. Let me start with the IBK. What should United be doing? Yes, they might not be, they can't come to power with Bayern Munich, but at least damage elimination. How can they see this match through and not cause an embarrassment like a big wild score margin?
Well, we've seen teams struggle in the league, and they are more like a different team when they play in the Champions League.
Not this United side.
No. To be honest, you'll be very shocked that what United will bring to the table against Bayern, not as if Bayern also have been blowing anyone out. They, in fact, Tuchel too has been under immense pressure.
I don't trust him.
Tuchel is someone that you might even overthink this game. But one thing that will worry Ten Hag is the fact that they have a prolific goal scorer, someone who knows in and out of Man United, someone who understands English football, who knows what they should be expecting coming to Allianz Arena. That's Harry Kane. How many goals will Harry Kane score? I think that should be the question you get. Apart from Harry Kane scoring, you've seen the way he gelled with this Bayern side. Is the way he assists, the way he comes back to get the ball, the way he transits with the attack of the team. This is a guy who I feel that if I wasn't Ten Hag, or if I was Ten Hag, I would be really worried about what I should be expecting from Harry Kane. But Bayern generally, I think Man United will be able to match them.
All right, before I come to Roy, let's talk about United as well. You know, it's been about Maguire being the cause of every problem at the defense. He has not played in the last 3 games, although he entered against Arsenal when the match was already lost. You can be able to agree with that. But now no Maguire, no De Gea, and no Anthony who used to play rubbish, Sancho, somewhere with the youth team. What are the essence of you buying a ball-playing goalkeeper when you have a midfield that can also, hold on to the ball and also out-possess the opponent? What exactly kind of pattern should United employ in this match? Because I don't even know exactly what Ten Hag is playing.
It is. I was on the Twitter space over the weekend, and we were talking about the signing of Andre Onana, and I said something there. I said, signing a ball-playing goalkeeper in world football right now is like one of the best things you can do for yourself. It's a very good part of the game. We've seen Brighton do it. We've seen Pep do it. It's one of the reasons why Chelsea signed Sanchez as well. It's a very good addition to have. But you can't sign a goalkeeper like that and want to play her from the back and not have a structure that supports that decision.
Yeah, true.
Man U chased top 4 last season with De Gea having 15 clean sheets, and he won the Golden Glove.
Was it 15 or 16?
I can't. Between 15 and 16. Now you went that far without playing out from the back. It was basically counter-attacking football that took you that far. Now say you want to tweak certain things in your team. Before you change the position as important as your goalkeeper, you need to have a system in place that supports that change.
Absolutely.
Before Pep moved from Bravo to Ederson, the system had to change. He had to find the players to support that move. So I feel like they had to necessarily do his homework concerning that. Now I would have said that the most Manchester United thing that can happen in this game is for Man to just go there and beat Bayern and shock the entire world. It's the most Man thing that can happen.
Is it possible? Right?
They did it against PSG one year like that.
I think they can do it.
No. Let me
it's the most Manchester United thing that can happen.
Let me come to Roy. Is it possible
for Man U to upset Bayern Munich in Allianz Arena?
Is it possible?
No. I just asked the question. In Allianz Arena, it is not possible, and you and I know it is not possible.
No, I don't know. No. I don't analyze.
Let me tell you why I feel it's not possible. Now, who's going to play? Already. Wait. Already,
you won't balance.
We're talking about Man U that beat PSG one season with Rashford and Lukaku as their only make sense starters.
Now,
and 0 players with class on the bench.
They've considered the highest number of goals this season. What are you talking
The
about?
reason- see,
no, hold on now.
the reason why me I'm scared is because
Lisandro, there is no Varane. It's just Lisandro Martinez and what's it called? Victor Lindelof. Go to match what's his name? Harry Kane. What are you talking about? Sani. See, Tuchel plays a what's it called? A counter-attacking football. And currently, mentally,
you really counter. Maybe you more like a direct football. I don't think it's counter.
It's a counter.
No, I don't think it's counter. When you
have you watched Bayern?
I've seen them. When you say counter-attacking football, that means the team has decided
soft pressure and
hit on the counter.
But that was what they played against against Leverkusen. Did you watch against Leverkusen?
I think
Leverkusen even had more possession than them. Leverkusen, if you go and check the possession,
but that was not happening against United.
You understand? So he was waiting for Leverkusen to come, so they will not start. And that is exactly what he's going to do against Man U.
Julie case
is a mess.
Bayern is not a side that I think would wow you right now. Julie case you can make for United is say maybe their backline is not something you can bank on and say, I trust that they'll be able to deal with Harry Kane.
Obviously.
Bayern is not playing the best attacking football right now.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's goal against Bayer Leverkusen came from a corner. It was not like they sat down and created chances for him. Man U will get chances against Bayern. The problem now is, will they take those chances? Rashford is playing from the left, and I enjoy it. My problem with him now is he needs to understand that Højlund is a teammate and not a competition.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who scores the goal. At the end of the day, early in the Champions League, Bayern is in your group. You're looking to change the course of things you have this season. Go to Allianz Arena and beat Bayern, and then maybe your city can turn over from there. We don't care how you score. Go there, even if it's 1-0. Go to Allianz Arena and win.
I think that's just a job. Possible or not possible, I can't tell from here. Bayern are a better side, but United can get a result anywhere in the world if they desire to do that. Let's go to other games. Let's go to Newcastle playing away at AC Milan, who are also beaten mercilessly by Inter Milan. This is going to be a game of end-to-end stuff. And I feel that AC Milan being at home, I've got the experience, they are the favorites.
I think,
but can Newcastle go there?
I
Also
think when you say end-to-end, I think it's a slap on AC Milan because Newcastle are coming to Giuseppe, what do they call that? The Giuseppe Mazza or something. You know, do you know what it means to play at the San Siro? I'm sure. No disrespect to Newcastle, but they also have a fantastic stadium. But when you see the atmosphere of San Siro, when you know the team you are playing probably, if I know probably, you are playing the second most successful club.
Well, they were just beating 5-1, but
no, it's a different thing.
Okay.
Newcastle are really struggling in the league, but I don't want to say maybe it might affect them in the Champions. But don't forget, the occasion might suck them. I always say how many experienced players do they have that have played the Champions League in that Newcastle team compared to AC Milan? You have wealth of experience. Guys who have won the Champions League, who are currently playing for AC Milan. So I think comparing it, talking about this fixture is a slap on its own.
Well, we'll come back to call this game. Yeah. We are going to call this game, and I feel that Newcastle will do a wonderful job.
I don't agree with you because Eddie Howe has not figured out his best front three. He started the season with Gordon, Isak, Almiron. Against Brentford, he fielded Harvey Barnes, Isak, and Gordon on the right. Okay. And I said something
Wilson started against.
Wilson started.
Yeah, he started against Brentford.
I said something the last time I spoke about Newcastle, and I said the players they had last season that took them on that run and understood whatever it is that Ida was trying to do. It was lovely to watch. But now they've removed certain. They've not gotten to the point where you say it's a plug and play system.
Of course.
They removed that. They don't have Willock right now, who was a very big part of why that system flourished last season. Now Willock is out. They still have Jolinton. They have Bruno Guimaraes, and now they've added Sandro Tonali.
Willock is injured, right? He's injured.
I don't know. I know he's injured, but I know Tonali is going to start. And Tonali is not necessarily having the best start of life at his new club.
Yep.
I don't trust Dan Bond at left back. I think they still need to go into the market and get a left back. So I don't trust him there. You get, and they're playing against an attack line that has with players who have played in the Premier League before. They have Giroud, they have Pulisic, and the likes of players like that. And this is the team that went to the semi-finals of the Champions League last season. Had a very good run, and when push came to shove, they held their own. But they had to bow out to Inter Milan. So you get. So I'm saying they don't have it all figured out yet. Both teams are not in the best of places because Milan just lost 5-1 to Inter. But I still think Milan has the upper hand in this game.
All right. Let's go straight to the last fixture. We're talking about Arsenal against PSV, and let me start with you, Roy. Arsenal making a comeback to the Champions League for the first time in 7 years, but any time against a side from Holland, if not Ajax, I think Arsenal should be the favourite. And we are Arsenal. I haven't started the season. It should not be problem for them. They are playing at home as well. So, what exactly do you think Arsenal will be giving to their fans this midweek?
Well, the truth is, as much as on paper, Arsenal is the favourite, right? They play fantastic football. Don't take that away from them. I watched their game yesterday. The team play, the chemistry in the team is fantastic. They're playing very good football. And like IBK rightly stated, if they maintain this tempo, they will most definitely give Man City a run for their money. You understand what I'm saying? So, but don't rule out PSV. PSV is a very fantastic side. They won the Eredivisie.
It was Feyenoord.
Feyenoord. Okay,
Yeah,
it was Feyenoord. But they came second, I think. They came
second doesn't matter.
So, but they are playing. They play good football. If you watch their team, they play good football and all of that. So you cannot come into the Emirates. It's a big call for them, But football, this is Champions League. You understand? It comes with a different spirit, a different mindset, and all of that. So. I don't really see an upset, but anything can happen. Before
we start calling the games, the 3 games we have in the Champions League, let me have the final discussion about Arsenal with you before we start calling from AC Milan to the other games that we have. Arsenal know exactly the job they have in their hands now. They have been calling for the Champions League for a long time. They cannot afford to start the Champions League with a disappointment, because the way you start, especially on the Arsenal side, that always have that, that can be affected easily mentally. Do you think Arsenal have any cause to worry against AP? I feel Arsenal are going to cruise.
I think your question is a disrespect to Arsenal, disrespect to their form, disrespect to whatever they are now.
I'm only making a point about our. See, it's a different entirely. That's how we're playing well in the league last season. And they played the Champions.
This is a battle. You can't compare the Europa League to the Champions League. Now the Europa League, a lot of people want to stay strong. They want to, use most of these clubs.
No, but that was the only European competition.
No, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
You don't get the context.
Arsenal's priority last season was the Premier League. Don't forget.
Okay.
Their priority was the Premier League. They thought they could win it. They went for it. This is a different ball game. Arsenal playing PSV. The question that we all should be asking is, how many goals are we expecting from Arsenal?
Okay. How many goals are we expecting?
I'm seeing about 4 goals, 4-1, 3-1 or thereabout. But I think PSV will get a goal. But I think it's going to be a total revelation from Arsenal.
Okay, talking about calling the games, let me start from Izu, AC Milan, Newcastle United. I'm going to call as well too. Your scoreline.
I think it's going to be a Milan win. I can't give you the amount of goals.
A Milan win, fine. IBK?
Easy win for Milan.
Easy win for Milan. Izu, I am Roy.
Milan to win actually 2-1.
Okay, I think Newcastle will get a draw in that match. That's my call. Let's start from Bayern Munich against United. I'm not calling that. Izu,
I think it's a very open game. I'm not going to call it. I think it's open. Anybody can snatch it.
Anybody can snatch it. But
I think it's going to be a draw.
A draw?
2-2, yeah.
2-2?
I feel Bayern will win.
Score?
2-0. Convincingly.
I also feel Bayern will win against United, probably 3-1. Let's end it with Arsenal, and I'll start with IBK, who said
4-1.
4-1?
Yeah, 4-1.
Wow. Roy?
Okay, so I can't put a goal line, a
score line,
yes. Score line to win.
Arsenal to win.
I feel Arsenal will come out.
Arsenal will win. That's the most important thing.
I think Arsenal will win. I think they're going to be fine in the group stage of this competition. But the thing is, I need to wait until the round of 16 to know if there are teams who are very good at playing knockout football, and there are teams who know how to chase, who know how to do this marathon sprints for leagues. So I think up until the round of 16, that's when I'll be able to tell if
Arsenal will win.
Arsenal will win PSV.
Well, I also think Arsenal will win, probably not comfortably, but at least like 3-1 or 3-2. But Arsenal, sure, to me, will win this match against PSV. And there are other games also lined for your viewing pleasure in the Champions League, and definitely it's going to be back-to-back games from Tuesday and Wednesday. But these are the prime games that we are previewing just for you to enjoy what we are serving you. Honestly, guys, you also have to follow us back-to-back, on our programs. Go to our comment section and give us every comment you think you should be asking us, and also put on the notification and make sure you're always the first to get the content we are serving you from time to time. The guys have been here; they've done a wonderful job. Your final shots, Izu.
No, I want to see something change for teams who it's one into banter in football. You get that, but there are teams who, when they play poorly, you feel like you're not watching the sport you grew up loving. So I think things need to change for certain teams. Man U, Chelsea especially. Something needs to change when we play Villa.
The love affair between Chelsea.
Yeah. Something just needs to change.
I think your passing shot.
Well, I really don't have much to say. Whatever I've predicted on this show, just go put your money on it and cash out. Maybe you should thank me later.
Well, IBK is an octopus. I can assure you that. Roy, your passing shot.
Well, I look forward to interesting games on Tuesday and Wednesday, and with all due respect to Man United, I hope they come home with a win. It's a long call for Man United fans, Well, since Chelsea are not playing the Champions League or even the Europa League, we always struggle with his passing shot. But guys, there are also games in the Europa League. There is last against Liverpool in the Europa League. There's Brighton against AEK Athens. There's also West Ham, who are also going to be playing against the Barca Topol in that match. So guys, everywhere you look at, from Wednesday, Tuesday to Thursday, there are always games around European football. We'll come back later to always analyze and also review all these things for you. And definitely with us, there is never a dull moment on the best of the best show, on the internet. My name is Farouk Adesola. Big thanks to the guy and also the crew making this happening all the time. Until we see you again, enjoy the rest of your time. Bye now.